BMW is no ordinary company, and the i8 was no ordinary car. On the one hand, BMW built the best-selling hybrid sports car ever produced, and showed the auto industry what cars of the future could look like. On the other hand, the company failed to align with people's expectations for the car, and sadly ended i8 production after only 6 years. So where did everything go wrong? How did such a promising car with tons of initial hype die so soon? And is 2026 the year this car rises from the ashes to be reborn into something magical? This is the tragic death and rebirth of a legend, the BMW i8. During World War I, BMW mainly produced aircraft engines where their designs were pretty reliable and innovative. However, after the war, restrictions imposed by the Treaty of Versailles forced the company to pivot its focus. At first, the company transitioned to manufacturing motorcycles, but soon after, they ventured into the automotive industry, introducing their first car, the Dixie, in 1928. As early as the 1950s, BMW was already focusing on the luxury car market, which soon proved to be the company's niche. Over the next 40 years, it cemented itself as a powerhouse in the automotive industry, producing endless high-performance vehicles for the road and the raceway. But here's the thing. Despite its status as a German institution, BMW has always been progressive and forward-looking in its car designs. So, as environmental concerns and regulation pressures grew in the late 20th and early 21st centuries, BMW began exploring alternative powertrains, including hybrid and electric models. Now, this was a time when the term electric car called up images of like a Toyota Prius or even a little go-kart. But BMW was releasing vehicles like the i3 and Active Hybrid 7. Their i8 model, however, was specifically designed to take on the world by storm, and as Motor Trend would put it, it was a masterpiece. A racer even commented saying that this was the best BMW I've driven in 10 years. And for a brief moment in time, for many people, it was. When BMW unveiled its Vision Efficient Dynamics concept car at the 2009 Frankfurt Motor Show, it left the automotive world in complete awe. The car's futuristic design, complete with massive gull-wing doors, seemed like something out of a science fiction movie. Described as an emotional design by BMW itself, this concept car was more than just a showpiece. It was like a glimpse into the future of automotive innovation. Its design was a complete shift from sports cars of the time, which were more like powerful, angular, and some seemingly even like borderline evil looking. Compare that to the i8 design, which was more like sexy and sculptured and even exotic. I mean, just look at its swan-like wings or the flying C-pillar reminiscent of a model's long flowing hair. At the time, BMW was so serious about this new direction that they established a new sub-brand design division called BMW i. This move was meant to address the growing market demand for electric vehicles at the time. Additionally, the company also appointed legendary designer Benoit Jacob as head of the division. And in 2013, the concept car was reintroduced as the i8. To everyone who saw it, the i8 was not just a car, but a statement. It came with many advanced features such as e-drive systems that basically set the benchmark for future BMW models and really showed where the future of automotive design and technology were headed. To this day, it can still turn heads on the road, and those who have been lucky enough to drive one say it remains one of the most unique experiences of their lives. But if all this is true, then it kind of begs the question, why did it fail? Despite its groundbreaking design and hybrid technology, the BMW i8 could not establish a foothold in the marketplace, even becoming the world's top-selling plug-in electric sports car with more than 20,500 units sold. Those numbers were not enough to justify continued production. Many critics say it felt more like a concept rather than a fully realized sports car. And while many agreed that it looked pretty incredible, the $136,000 price tag was hard to justify for a car that didn't meet the expected performance standards of a BMW. Here's some basic benchmarks of the i8 and of a competitor, the Model S P85D. The 2014 through 2018 model had a 3-cylinder 1.5-liter hybrid engine that only put out around 360 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. In the year 2019, it had a slight improvement to about 370 horsepower. But still, this severely underpowered design and price led it to become kind of dull, especially when compared to direct competitors in the same price range, such as the Tesla Model S. Even the one thing everyone seemed to love about the car, which was its futuristic design, was not even above criticism. Some loved its bold, futuristic looks, while others found it to be just too loud. The sad truth is, the i8's design and production were a decent compromise between performance and eco-friendliness, but it never truly excelled in either arena. For example, at best, it boasted a little over 30 miles of pure electric range, which was not good enough to compete with more efficient hybrids to be considered a top-tier green vehicle. Also, with a 0 to 60 time of around 4 seconds, it wasn't quite fast enough to compete with the high-end pure performance cars in its price range. Now some would say, yeah, but the i8 was not set up to be a BMW M car or even a track car, and that's fair. But what I am really saying is there was just so much more room at the untapped top end of the car. For BMW lovers and consumers alike, they realized these faults and became hesitant slapping down $136,000 for a car that just didn't feel quite finished. Fast forward to June 2020, and just 6 years after they first hit the market, BMW would end the production of the i8. What seemed like it could be the defining luxury car of the time ended up being a high-price status symbol with limited appeal. Between the cost, the less than ideal powertrain, and its limited hybrid functionality, BMW just couldn't make the i8 stick. If you ask me, the i8's death was tragic because it marked the end of BMW's electric vehicle vision at the time. Many saw the i8 as a car with pure potential, one that could have continued to evolve and improve with time, and the decision to discontinue it left fans wondering what could have been. But is this actually the full story? Even though the i8 failed to live up to BMW's intentions, that hasn't deterred the German luxury brand from continuing to explore the potential of high-dollar hybrid sports cars. Development of the next i8, which many fans are calling the i8M, is already underway and could arrive as early as 2025. It's expected to offer a significant performance improvement over its earlier brother, with a huge increase in power, a longer all-electric driving range, and a host of other improvements. Right now, it seems that the M, or whatever BMW ends up calling it, will follow the same basic powertrain design as the existing i8, with an electric motor driving the front wheels and a mid-mounted gasoline engine and electric motor powering the rear. However, instead of the i8's turbocharged 1.5-liter 3-cylinder gas engine, the new model will feature a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, boosting the total system output to just under 600 horsepower. The latest data says this next-generation hybrid sports car will be all new for the 2026 model year, with more details expected to emerge sometime in 2025. While the i8 may have been ahead of its time, it also faced limitations that kept it from reaching its full potential. However, with the development of the next-generation i8M, BMW appears ready to build on the legacy of the original i8, potentially delivering a car that lives up to the promise of its predecessor while embracing the future of automotive technology. Is this a one-and-done story, or a legendary story of a phoenix being reborn into something magical? I guess we will have to find out soon enough. Thank you guys so much for watching.